happen. And, you know, it's gonna be something spectacular. It's gonna be something really big, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, it might be one of the biggest. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be real big. It's gonna be very.
Ass. I know
he
I
just
will
got
beat.
knocked out, right?
Yeah. He doesn't have a chin, and he has no skill. And
After Jake Paul's fight with Gervonta Davis was called off, Rolly Romero has been chosen as his new opponent for next month. This was revealed by Jake Paul's most important promoters
yesterday night here on the East Coast around, I don't know, 9:30, 10 or so. Most Valuable Promotions, the promotion co-founded by Jake Paul and Nikisa Badarian, posted this on social media.
MVP said this in a post on their social media pages a few days after Rolly Romero advertised himself for the fight. The social media post said, "Most Valuable Promotions confirmed that Rolly Romero will be Jake Paul's new opponent in the December fight. More information about the fight will be shared soon. The governing bodies will be informed, and the rules will be made public. Watch out for a news conference coming up soon." There are reports that Jake Paul did not immediately contact Rolly Romero, that the boxer made movies to show that he was available for the fight. Who cares, though? It doesn't bother me. In 2025, roll Jake Paul. I beat up another YouTuber. Bro. I knocked out Y bro. Jake Paul and his team thought he would be a good option for Gervonta Davis because he is also a world champion and famous enough to get people to come to the fight. Romero became the full WBA champion after Jiren left the division. He had just won the regular title by majority decision over Ryan Garcia in Times Square, New York, with his new title as king. Rolly has been linked with big names for his next fight. Romero is now mad at Paul and has called him out on social media. The winner said on his Instagram story, "Rolly is going to go after Jake Paul. If I train hard for a week, I will stop him." And all of these YouTubers hype.
He's knocked out cold by me, bro. Yeah. Jake Paul gets knocked out cold.
Moving up in weight to fight Jake Paul at the last minute doesn't bother the current WBA 147-pound champion. Romero offered to save the now cancelled November 14th Netflix show where Paul was supposed to fight Gervonta, Tank Davis, boxing scene, and other news. Sites said that Paul's most important promotions canceled the show because Davis was getting more into trouble with the law. A Florida woman sued Davis in Miami-Dade civil court, saying he hit her, kidnapped her, and did 3 other acts of domestic violence. A police report was also made, but as this article goes to press, the troubled boxer has not been charged with a crime related to this claimed incident. Because of this, Romero, who is 17-2, offered to move up 40 pounds or more to save the day. Is that the GOAT at welterweight? At cruiserweight, I'm about to be the GOAT. During a live Instagram video with his fans on Monday, Romero told them, "I and Jake Paul, we're fighting in 2 weeks. I believe Jake Paul is scared of me. I'm going to weigh less. Rolly's big now, though. I knocked Jake Paul out cold." Even though Romero made a nice offer, the event will probably happen in December.
For the announcement, I want to let everybody know I'm going to slap Jake Paul across his face because, first and foremost, man, I'm tired of this YouTube boxing stuff, man. I really am. I am more tired of this YouTube boxing stuff than everyone else, man.
That being said, MVP hasn't given a firm date or even a new opponent for Paul 12-1. Romero's name was also brought up as one of several choices. Along with pound-for-pound king, there was Terence Crawford, Ryan Garcia, Francis Ngannou, and even Jake's bigger brother Logan Paul. Chris Manx, on the other hand, said that Crawford is instead planning to come back in March. Promoters Golden Boy Promotions said Garcia couldn't fight because they had a deal with DAZN that said Garcia couldn't fight anyone else. Ngannou, who used to be the UFC heavyweight king, said that the offer and the way he was asked to step in so quickly made him feel insulted. A brother versus brother practice match is almost certainly not going to happen, even though it might be the most popular choice. In a strange way, that puts Romero in a good position if he really wants to fight. Romero needs to take care of a WBA decision that says he needs to start talks for an overdue mandatory title defense against Chakramjias of Uzbekistan right away. There is until November 13 for both sides to come to an agreement and avoid a fun bit. When Romero beat Ryan Garcia on May 2 to win a secondary form of the WBA 147lb title, he took over the mandatory. Even though Romero was going to fight Wasov soon, he was hoping to fight Garcia again because of a clause in their fight contract. Romero said, "Ryan Garcia wasted 6 months of my life. That makes me very angry. That makes me more angry than anything else, man. You guys don't know how angry I am about that. There was even a clause for a second match. He acted like he was going to fight me, but then he got scared and dropped the whole idea."
No, and then they want to go waste their time with Ryan, right, bro? Ryan Garcia done wasted 6 months of my life, bro, because we're over here trying to figure out the a rematch because me and him obviously had a rematch clause, and then he don't want to fight me, and he wants to go run off and go fight Barrios and waste.
With Garcia, Pacquiao, and now Paul, the Las Vegas native seems to have tried everything except the unfinished business of the present. That hasn't stopped him from turning his attention to Paul and, in his view, stopping social media leaders from getting involved in sports. "I want everyone to know that I'm going to hit Jake Paul in the face," Romero said he would. "To begin with, I'm sick of all this fighting stuff on YouTube. I really am. I'm more sick of this fighting stuff on YouTube than anyone else. I'm going to hit Jake Paul in the face."
The GOAT at welterweight, bro. I'm about to be the GOAT at cruiserweight. Me and Jake fight in 2 weeks. No, and then they want to go waste their time with Ryan, right, bro? Ryan Garcia done wasted 6 months of my life, bro, because we're over here trying to figure out the a rematch because me and him obviously had a rematch clause, and then he don't want to fight.
Davis is now in the same situation as Romero was before his fight with the unbeaten southpaw was originally set to happen. Romero was accused of attacking a Las Vegas woman he used to know in 2019 and was pulled from the Showtime pay-per-view event in December 2021. So the two were not able to meet. The police looked into it and decided that the case did not have any basis. The investigation, on the other hand, only continued long enough for Isaac Pitbull Cruz to beat Romero to the date. Davis beat Cruz by default after 12 rounds.
A rematch clause and everything, bro. He over there acting like he want to fight me and didn't want to go get all scared and stuff and not want to fight me. Ryan ain't gonna win. He don't want to fight me. He don't want anything to do with me.
In May 2022, Romero got his chance to fight Davis. The Davis put him out in the 6th round of their WBA 135lb title fight in Brooklyn, New York. Following his loss to Davis, Romero got back on track with a controversial decision win over Ismael Barroso in May 2023. Romero won the WBA 140-pound title, but Cruz beat him badly by stoppage on March 30, 2018, in Las Vegas, and he lost the belt. After that, he won 2 more fights, including the one against Ryan Garcia, which made him the full WBA 147-pound champion. A statement from Most Valuable Promotions was made about the new case against Gervonta Tank Davis.
See, the way that he wrote this is just so crazy. He said, Gervonta Davis is an actual walking human piece of garbage. Working with him is an absolute nightmare. The unprofessionalism, the bizarre requests, the showing up hours late to shoots, the numerous arrests and related accusations and lawsuits. If you support this man, you support the most vile sin a man can commit. I didn't want to give this.
MVP said in an email to the press that it has already started an investigation into the matter and will take further action once it has been looked into. As soon as Most Valuable Promotions learned that Gervonta Davis had been sued in Miami-Dade County on October 30, 2025, they started an investigation right away. Right now, we're getting data and going over the specifics to make sure that any choice we make is well thought out. We strongly reject all forms of violence and promise to handle this situation with care and respect for everyone concerned. Choosing what to do next will depend on what we find out during our study and after talking to the right people. We will not say anything else until then.
The Tank Davis did something awful again, and no, it wasn't scheduling another fight with Jake Paul. He beat a woman. Again. And once again, I'm not talking about Jake Paul. If you know Tank Davis, you know he has a lot of run-ins with the law. But this is actually a civil suit over a certain criminal case that was dropped.
Violence. We don't hear behind the body. You got handcuffs.
He is being sued by his ex-girlfriend Courtney Rosal for battery, aggravated battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The case was filed on October 30th. The claim says that Russell worked at Tootsie's, a club for men, as a VIP cocktail waitress, at 4:15 a.m. on October 27th. Davis is said to have stormed into the club and struck Russell. She says Davis hit her in the parking basement and choked, grabbed, and dragged her through the kitchen, stairs, and back exit. Russell says she had been seeing Davis in secret for 5 months, but she accused Tank of beating her and choking her several times, as well as threatening to kill her twice.
Movies and dressing up while watching scary movies. And lo and behold, breaking news.
Deontay Davis, jump into it. Kind of, I wouldn't say it's a big shock to a lot of us, but there's this mindset. The fight with Lamont's not signed yet. Apparently, he's gonna fight Jake Paul.
Davis reportedly told her he would kill her on September 2nd if she didn't answer his calls and texts. Then, on September 23rd, Davis threatened her again by texting, "I'll kill you." And she accused Russell of cheating on her before hitting her in public at a restaurant called Playa Miami that same day. Besides that, the lawsuit says Davis texted Rosal an hour after the October 27th event and said, "I'm on my way. Yoya house." Rosal thinks he was going to her house to hurt her again. Rosal says that the abuse has given her serious PTSD and that she is always afraid for her life. In the case, it also says that she has gone to therapy and medical care since the abuse and needs help with daily tasks.
Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. This looks really bad for him. While all the details aren't out, we know from the details from the original case, which was basically a shut case with a lot of evidence that he did it. That, along with his prior incidents, innocent until proven guilty, but...
ESPN says that when asked about the status of the fight, neither Most Valuable Promotions nor Davis's camp reply. As the boxing world waits to see how Davis's latest legal problems turn out, there has been no news from anyone. Tank fans are feeling like they've been here before.
My understanding is a civil suit, it probably could turn into worse. A woman who is a waitress at a club. So I don't know all the details. You guys can check the details, but Jake.
A story from Chris Manx of Sports Illustrated says that Jake Paul's team is now working hard to find a new opponent for the November 14th card. Manx made a post on X about the change. It seems like Davis is always getting into trouble with the law, which goes against what the World Boxing Association lightweight king said about his mental health before. The case could have very bad effects on Davis and end out of the ring in the next few days, and it could really mess up the Paul versus Tank event.
Do something like 6 times, people are gonna believe you did it the 7th. So why is this coming up again? Well, now we talk about Jake Paul. There were a lot of theories that the reason the original charges got dropped, despite it being pretty clear that he was gonna get convicted, was he convinced her to stop pressing charges so that he can actually schedule this Jake.
Violence and battery charges against his baby mother, who's the mother of 2 of his children, Vanessa Paso, I believe her name is. Now, I want to do this in a certain order because I think since people kind of stopped watching videos midway through, I'm going to put some of the most important points I want to...
Tank Davis, he got arrested. Any thoughts on that one?
He did, huh? Again?
Yeah, again.
Hey, look, I actually like Tank Davis. He's a good, he's a good kid. He's a good fighter, a great fighter, actually. He's one of my favorites. Just get your... That's it, basically. Just share your...
Days home detention by serving at a 4-season hotel and a $3.4 million penthouse rather than trainer Calvin Fordhouse, as the judge agreed. This is the reason why Tank is not being jailed. Gervonta Davis' lawyer argued that the house was too small for security staff.
These are the fighters that Paul's team is said to have talked to about possible fights. Ngannou said the offer was rude, but neither Ward nor Crawford have said anything about their plans to fight Paul or how they feel about it. An internet star wants to fight real people, and WBA World Welterweight Champion Rolando "Rolly" Romero is one of them.
What can you tell us? Is there any possibility that Francis Ngannou will step in for Gervonta Davis and fight Jake Paul?
No, there's no such of thing happening. Basically, like how can they go from like Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? Like, I mean, Gervonta Davis is a fantastic.
When word got out that Paul's fight with Davis had been called off, Romero wasn't the only famous fighter to call for him. The last person who fought Canelo Alvarez, Edgar Berlanga, also wanted to fight Paul. "Hey, Jake, pick up the phone." "Jake," Berlanga wrote on X, "I called you. Let's start the fight." Junior Dos Santos, who used to be the UFC heavyweight king, even called Paul out. The man, who is 41 years old, wrote on Instagram,
"Knockout artist, but come on, like the weight different and everything. It make no sense. You know, the Gervonta Davis, you count, you say, okay, the size different can level up. But at this point, for me to, it make no sense."
Did they reach out though? We see a bunch of names that are out.
"I want to fight Jake Paul in that fighting match. In the world of MMA, you're known as the boxing guy. People tell you, why don't you take these guys on? I thought, that's my chance when I saw Tank Davis quit the fight. At this point, it's not clear if Paul will fight any of these three fighters. But in the next few weeks, an announcement will be made about his next opponent. Davis won't work with Paul, but MVP is now looking for a new opponent for a show they still want to put on in December, which is 1 month after Netflix was supposed to show the original event."
And I just want to read some of the stuff that Jake put up here, because I see now, like, while I'm on here, I can move around and I can do stuff. So I'm about to go to Jake made some tweets. I just want to read what they say and give y'all my take on it.
But there is only one enemy. Well-known fighters keep knocking him back, saying they don't want to be a part of these showyanics. Another famous person who turned down Jake's approaches was Francis Ngannou, the former UFC heavyweight champion. He said that even thinking about putting on a show with Jake would be disrespectful. How did they get from Francis Ngannou to Gervonta Davis? He told TMZ Sports, "It doesn't make sense. I didn't understand. I'm like, no. Bro, please, don't treat me badly like that. I'm not interested."
Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou, come on, like the weight different and everything, it make no sense.
He beat his
it
girl?
Make no sense. Nikisa reached out the other day and tell me how they need a replacement for Gervonta. Then I say, okay, what can I do for you? He said, yeah, we're looking for a replacement, but I still haven't get it. I was like, okay, then what exactly can I do for you? Like, we would think about you.
But Ngannou wasn't the only one who was turned down. Paul's tour of shame continues. Chris Manx of Sports Illustrated says that he said on X, Terence Crawford is not in the running to fight Jake Paul. Crawford wants to hold his own event in March. I've been told that Manny Pacquiao, who just got back to the Philippines, is focused on finishing off Rolly Romero in their 147-pound title fight. Jake Paul is going up against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Before fighters were nearly tripping over each other to call Paul out and hope that the cruiserweight judges would choose them. The athletes Paul is now trying to get in touch with are only thinking about one thing: boxing.
Did Jake's team reach out to you and at least express to see if you were interested?
Yes, Nikisa reached out the other day and tell me how they need a replacement for Gervonta, and after I listened, I wasn't getting it. Then I say, okay, what can I do for you? What exactly?
It may say something about the fact that Paul has 13 fights and has yet to pick on someone his own size and age in the right sport. He trolled MMA fighters for years, then moved on to journeyman boxes, and finally fought Mike Perry and Mike Tyson back-to-back. He beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. over 10 rounds earlier this year. Paul might need to do something he hasn't done yet in boxing. He should fight a real, ranked fighter in the light heavyweight or cruiserweight division and see what happens. This would give his career a boost and win back fans who seem to dislike him. After the Davis exhibition, Rolly Romero is ready for now. That's all there is to it now. You can stay in touch with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. It has all the latest news, moments, events, and acts in the world of boxing. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you know when we post good stuff like this. Goodbye until next time.